All right, so I was finally able to get my hands on kind of my grail fragrance at the moment, Pacific Chill by Louis Vuitton. So I was able to smell this at the Louis Vuitton store. I was buying Imagination at the time, and I smelled just about everything they had. I mean, I smelled Ombre Nomad, um, smelled Meteor or Metois, however you say that, smelled Orage. I already had Le Monzite and Afternoon Swim. And this immediately stood out to me. I was a big fan of Cactus Garden back in the day. I would say one of my favorite categories of fragrance is the green category. And while this is, I would say, definitely less green than Cactus Garden, it kind of fills that void that Louis Vuitton now has. I mean, they have Sur La Route and Orage, which are both somewhat green, more so Sur La Route. But upon first smell, I mean, this is delicious. And I'll put the notes up here so you guys see what I'm talking about. I actually do get a ton of the apricot smell, especially in the dry down. The initial burst, you do get a little bit of that kind of mint freshness, but there are a lot of mint fragrances that I actually don't enjoy that much. Examples of this would be something like Beach Hutman by Amouage. I'm not the biggest fan of the crushed mint leaf, just overpowering mintiness that a lot of these fragrances have. This is so well blended. I mean, just like every other Louis Vuitton scent, one of the best things they do is they don't use too many ingredients, which I think can really kind of muddle down certain notes, but they do a great job of just blending everything to perfection. So this does smell very fruity to me in the opening. I think it has black currant, it has orange, it has grapefruit, I believe, and then it also has that mint in the opening. And I would say, yeah, the mint is so subtle. It just gives it a little bit of freshness. This is such like a damp and fresh smell, much like Cactus Garden. Cactus Garden was very kind of like evocative of like a damp, wet green, almost like literally like a wet cactus, like a cactus in an oasis or something. And so I've been wearing this all day, and it dries down and you get a lot of those base notes like the fig. I think you get a lot of the apricot, and it's actually winter right now, so it's colder out. This is more of a fresh scent for sure. It is a freshie, and I've noticed that it just is such a calming, pleasant, awesome scent to wear. It smells very clean. With the mint, it's very uplifting with all of the fruit notes, and I think the dry down is actually pretty interesting. I've even one of the notes in here I think is carrot seeds. Like there's some interesting kind of facets to this smell that I think you get if you really start to wear it and enjoy it throughout the day. I want to say that the longevity on this is rather average, I would say. Um, and projection probably maybe about 4 to 5 hours of projection, and then it becomes definitely more intimate. But I'm just really glad that Louis Vuitton, they discontinued Cactus Garden, which was such a bummer. I mean, you can buy it for like $2,000, I think, on eBay right now. um, but they just didn't really have anything to kind of fill that void. And I've read a lot of people kind of hating on Pacific Chill. They say it's like way too basic or something. It was just unimpressive. It wasn't what they expected. And my opinion is that it smells amazing. Like, I think sometimes when we get caught up with kind of the hype of certain fragrances, if you're in the fragrance community and you read Fragrantica or you go on Reddit or something like that, then a lot of these people who are really kind of like passionate about fragrances tend to, I find, appreciate things that are more subtle, more different, as opposed to something that just smells like phenomenal on its own. I mean, I think one of the lowest rated fragrances from Louis Vuitton is Meteor or Metois, because everyone says it smells basic. But when I went into the store and I smelled just about every fragrance right next to each other, Meteor was like upon the first spray, probably one of the best smelling ones in there, along with Le Monsité, right? And so I would say you guys should definitely get a sample of this, try it out. It smells bomb. This will be so good in the summertime. I bet, like, heat up your skin a little bit, get sweating a little bit. It'll really bring out kind of like all the different subtle facets of the smell. I think upon first smell, it might smell like a little bit one-dimensional, but you just need to kind of let it develop to really appreciate it. So I'm going to say Pacific Chill, very good. I would say 9 out of 10. Amazing smell. Good job, Louis Vuitton.